Hi guys, welcome back. Today we are tying a disco nymph, and this is a steelhead disco nymph. I have caught spring steelhead on this nymph in about 4 feet of water. They seem to love this nymph. I'm using the number 6 egg hook, and I do have a bright pink bead on the top of it there. So pink and red will work as far as colored beads. I'm using 6/0 red thread, and we're going to start tying this in. Now, as you can see, I have the hook kind of on an angle here, and the reason for that is to make it easier to tie in the flash that we're going to put in at the back. So we're going to grab a couple strands of flash. I'm using some, let's see here, smolt blue. Okay, so we're going to tie in about 3 pieces of this for the tail. Just going to tie that in there, wind it back to about the hook bend. Okay, there we go. And you can trim this off after or now. I'll do it now. I'd say about 1 inch worth. Back. Now we're also going to be using the same flash as a ribbing. So we're going to tie in that now also. And we're going to rib the body with this, of course. Secure that in. And wind it all the way back again. Get that out of the way there. Perfect. There we go. Now for the body, you can use the thread in itself, or you can use some fluorescent pink or red floss. We're going to be using some bright pink floss. Now we're going to wind the thread forward. We're going to tie it in just at the tip here. Then wind it all the way back. The reason we do that is to give it a nice uniform body as we're wrapping. Flip off the end here. I want to start winding that forward, and the good thing about having the red thread underneath does give it a little bit more texture and also look, because you can actually see the red thread underneath the floss when it gets wet. Wind that forward. You can tie that off anytime you want now. we'll bring the tinsel up, the flash to ribbit. And also tie that off. Now we can reposition the hook, make it a lot easier to tie in. So I want you to wind your thread back about 1/4 of the way. And now we're going to tie in some peacock herl. Now what you want to do is grab about 3 strands of it, cut off the tips because they are very brittle, and tie that in. Leave your thread there and start winding forward with your peacock herl. Now what that thread does, leaving it there, is it holds all the peacock herl in place and doesn't separate. You want to wind that right nice and tight to the bead. That secures that bead in place. Good. Okay, now for the wing, I've used white cattail, but now we're going to use some goose biots. We're going to tie those in. You want to grab 2. Clip those in. Now, some people like to tie them in at the same time. I pretty well tie them in one at a time. And you want it on an angle, so they're going back. And you can secure those in. There we go. And you want to grab the other one now. And tie that in. There we go. And if it's not where you want it, you can always make your adjustments. Before you clip it off. And the last part is we're going to add in some more flash. And we're going to grab in about 4 pieces for the wing. Now with the 4 pieces, turns into 8 because you're going to fold them back and secure it in there. Now you want to pull and cut it off about the length of the hook shank. There we go. Now we're just going to build a little more of a hot spot there, securing everything down with the red thread. And we're going to finish it off with a whip finish. 4 or 5 turns. And there you go. And we'll add in a little bit of, just a little dab of head cement there. Secure the thread down. And there you have it. There's the Disco Nymph. Great for steelhead in the springtime. Proven. I've caught, actually I've caught 3 with this pattern in different colors in pink and red. And they work great. So I hope you enjoyed that. And we'll see you next time.